Why should an author have a website? I'll give you a scenario. I'll let you make up your own mind. So authors go to a book fair and they're mingling. They're mingling with their readers. And what happens when the author wants to send the reader to find their book? The author normally says something to the effect of, well, go search for my book on, or go find my book in Google, in Amazon, or maybe I've got a Facebook page, go find it here. What do you think happens? Do you think the reader goes home, goes onto Facebook, and starts searching for the variation of the string that's going to take them to the right page? What the author's doing without meaning to is they're giving the reader work. They're giving the reader extra work to go find their book. They're thinking that the reader's going to go into Facebook or Amazon or Google. They're going to ignore all the other notifications that are popping up, all the likes, all the emails. They're going to think that the reader then remembers the exact title of the book or the exact author name of the book. And they're going to assume that along the way, the reader doesn't get distracted. Then they're assuming the reader goes ahead and makes a purchase. Now, the way to put this technically is that the conversion rate of telling a reader to go find your book or go search for your book is really, really low. Now, what an author website does is it takes that whole challenge of trying to get them to remember the important bits, trying to get them to avoid distractions, and it ties it up into a single, easy to remember name, myauthorwebsite.com. When the reader goes to your author website, you've curated the experience. You've removed all the distracting bells and whistles and notifications, and all the reader sees is exactly what you want them to see. They see information about you, the author. They're seeing information about your book. They're not being distracted by the latest bestsellers, or they're not being distracted by their friend and family liking their photos. They're seeing exactly what you want them to. Obviously, it goes without saying that the author website has to be specially shaped so that you control the attention. It has to be specially shaped so that someone who enters your author website can be convinced as to why your book is really important, why your book is worth their money, and where they can go and find your book. So make no mistake, the responsibility still rests with the author to shape a website that does a good job of decluttering, making the reader's choices obvious, listing out the benefits of the book, giving good social proof as to why your book is really, really relevant and a really good purchase and value for money. But the conversion rate of convincing new readers from your website will always be so much higher than if you're paying Facebook, than if you're relying on a random Google search, or if you're relying on the reader to go into Amazon, recall what to type in, assuming that out of all the other authors on Amazon, they find your book and then go ahead and make the purchase. So not only does your website do a better job of convincing and converting, your website can also potentially capture reader information. You can capture the reader name and surname on your email list. Perhaps if you have e-commerce on your website, you can actually capture a lot more, the physical location and where they live and would they like to then hear from you again. Amazon obviously does not capture specific information about the reader. It tells you that you sold a book, but it doesn't tell you anything about where the reader lives. Now, the website you've designed can capture the first name, the last name, the address, physical and email, so that when your next book comes out, you are able to remarket to the same reader. Can you see the value of an author website? Can you see how by sending readers to Amazon or Google to search for your book, you risk losing that reader forever? That is why I want you to have your own author website. It's not as hard as you think it is, and it does a much better job of winning you that reader.